Businesses have always tried to get the right amount of product to the right place at the right time. And for many, supply chain costs can be a big part of the overall expense, sometimes making up for 10 to 40% of the cost of goods sold. And these costs can increase even more when inventory sits in warehouses waiting for demand. AI can help reduce the labor needed to manage a supply chain, run real-time simulations, and connect different suppliers more efficiently. A well-managed supply chain not only improves customer experience, but also drives revenue growth. So in this episode, we'll explore how technology is revolutionizing supply chain management, cutting costs, and shifting labor towards a higher value task. I am Laith Elayyan, and I am with Julie Lockwood from IBM and the University of Colorado. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Laith. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I have over 25 years in the supply chain industry, working mostly in technology, but also in pharmaceuticals and consumer packaged goods.
Welcome, Julie. It's great to have you. So you've likely experienced the benefits of AI through tools like Bard, ChatGPT 4, and Gemini, maybe even use generative AI for personal projects and work tasks. So given that nearly all of the internet is accessible through ChatGPT 4 via web crawling tools like Octoparse, Scrappy, and Stormcrawler, how much of the supply chain data do you work with is integrated into LLM systems? And have you seen any benefits or challenges in using large language models for this?
Yeah, for sure. So LLMs are the large language models that drive the artificial intelligence behind Bard, ChatGPT, and Gemini. These are user-centric solutions that catalog the internet. When we think of enterprise organizations, their information is not on the internet, and only 1% of their organizational data as a whole is on an LLM, which means it's locked in systems, it's not easily retrievable, and definitely not conversational or able to communicate with human prompts. So we know that almost every enterprise is facing this from a technology and data perspective. This institutional knowledge is trapped in their organization. For example, right now I'm working with a client who's pretty far up the maturity curve of enterprise data. They have a data lake, they have a Power BI dashboard, they have an underlying data collection process, and it's modernized. So there's still value that we can get out of this information, even though they're pretty far up the maturity curve. We bring a team of professionals. We work with a procurement organization to classify the spend data, to personalize the data, and reduce duplicate spend like enterprise licenses that are being bought out of two lines of businesses. Additionally, we see that direct material cost from a procurement landscape don't have as much benchmarking or processes for calculating and negotiating the cost. So we put in tools and a program using AI to help them work with their suppliers to benchmark their direct materials cost, ultimately saving money. And that money shows up directly in the cost of goods sold. It also shows up in their EBITDA financial performance. So our goal is to take out direct cost, use AI as the lens that shows us where to pull out some of the value.
Yeah, it's really interesting to know that IBM has helped procurement teams make data-driven decisions. I know this is especially important to help improve key financial metrics, but just given the multifaceted nature of supply chains, can you tell us how you see AI managing the high level of human coordination that is required? And how can AI solutions like IBM's Ensemble Supply Chain Suite help optimize these processes and reduce the manual efforts that is involved?
Yeah, so AI has come at the perfect time. We're at a place where human intelligence is unable to be scaled on the level of data that we have access to.
Right.
As humans, we don't do a great job of sharing our expertise. It's difficult to make the time to talk to your colleagues, to be on meetings, and to communicate effectively. AI will create a ability to leverage that network effect, just like it may have with your social media usage, where you have easy access to professionals and the data that they consume. We know this in supply chain more than anywhere else, where there's multiple tiers, quick moving parts, changing customer needs. So we have assets and solutions that create easy to use LLMs for our clients, both at the detailed operational level, but also at the control tower level.
Yeah, it's really impressive how AI can simplify the complexity of managing a supply chain. The ability to just query data in a conversational manner and gain real-time insights through IBM's tools seems to really transform the traditional role of human coordination, and it really goes to show how important it is to have the right technology in place to help us maneuver through such an intricate landscape. I remember a paper out of Cornell University stating that LLMs will learn statistical patterns, contextual information, and once they're trained, they will be a powerful agent that will model our supply chains. And these agents will make proactive decisions to right-size the inbound product or retail network. And it seems that we're moving from reactivity and proactivity to prediction recommendations. Julie, can you please tell us about what considerations come into play when deciding to nearshore production closer to the end customer? And how do these technologies help and track the status of specific products and make sure that they are available when and where they are needed?
Yeah, so I love that you mentioned from reactive to proactive and predictive supply chains. We are at the point where we need to move humans and use our human intelligence for higher value tasks. So these are thinking through things like, should we move our production facility closer to our end customers? So nearshoring has been a really big topic post-COVID, and we've seen our biggest trading partner come back to Mexico, where much of the facilities are moving in the couple years out from COVID. So we need humans to focus on things like network effect, where our location should be, how we can renegotiate contracts, things that are more complex. We need AI to focus on the reactive capabilities within the supply chain. How do you handle fallouts? How do you handle errors? How do you handle misshipments? How do you handle invoices and accounts payable? All of those, we would like to get to a point where they're automated or done by a machine for the majority of them. Then the humans can work on the prediction elements of the supply chain. Hopefully, as we continue to teach the machines how we want our supply chain to look, they'll be able to move up the curve of automation. So I'll give you an example. It's summer here in Colorado, 80, 90 degrees each day. My boys went to a lacrosse camp and asked to stop for ice cream. We open the freezer in the convenience store and the cold air hits our face. Neatly stocked in the freezer is all their favorite ice creams, from orange push-ups to strawberry shortcake bars, drumsticks, and sorbet. Now, how sad are you if your favorite product is not there?
Very sad.
Yeah, you want that ice cream cone. Now, as a supply chain person and a logistician, I look at what it took to get that ice cream there. It took planning, frozen, refrigerated reefer, an inventory planner, a shipper. They had to add the seasonality factor, the peak demand, and even the promotion and sales factor into all of that. Naturally, there is area for efficiency. So we have created a treasure trove of data in this cooler. Now take this over to other industries that you may be less experienced with, like the pharmaceutical industry. They too have to deal with the same data variables. So this technology is really for any company. And if you think, most companies are turning into technology or data-led companies.
Yeah, it's amazing what IoT, AI, machine learning, and blockchains are doing to transform supply chains. Could you please tell us about how does IBM's IoT technology apply real-time monitoring and automation in the supply chain? And can you please tell us about how does IBM's AI predictive maintenance reduce equipment downtime and boost productivity? We would love to know about what makes IBM's model so unique.
Yeah, so I worked on a project with a beef distributor, and they wanted to create a 100% natural beef supply chain. The concept of farm to table. So taking and tracking the beef from the origin to the destination at the restaurant to give customers a well-crafted experience and also a better beef. These are companies that distribute to McDonald's and Wendy's and many of the convenience food stores that you eat at. The IoT devices were used to track the beef from start to finish. So much so that there was an IoT device installed in every refrigerator at each retail location. And that refrigerator communicated the temperature, the time, and the amount of beef that was left in the freezer. So all of this data helps us create our supply chains of the future. So IBM's Predictive Maintenance Suite is in the MRO space. It's maintenance, repair, and operations, mostly using Maximo and ServiceNow. Basically, those assets allow you to get the best out of your organizational investments. So these are machines that do packing and picking and manufacturing operations. They may be building your medical device. They can be really expensive. And so we use a cloud-based platform that has AI and IoT integrated. It helps extend the product life cycles and reduce downtime. These products are now linked to the Supply Chain Intelligence Suite. So you can get all the benefits that we talked about here in one platform-based solution that's interconnected. I don't know if you know, Laith, but IBM supports many banks. IBM commits to keep the bank's ATM up and running. And when it does go down, IBM is required to bring it back up within 2 hours. So much of what we do on our day-to-day life at IBM are things that people don't see. They're kind of behind the scenes to make the world run better. IBM has been a leader in the AI space. I think there's a lot of fear around AI and the foundation models that we've created. So IBM has done a couple of things. One is we're here to support clients through their transformational journey. So depending on where a client is on the journey of data, AI, and generative AI, we create easy-to-use tools that can transform code such as COBOL, where the number of developers are shrinking globally, into Java-based script to help modernize their data. And we can also add to it LLMs. The LLMs are then the basis of what serves to become the generative AI to create the efficiency. IBM has a unique differential in that we're a technology company. We produce servers, technology, but also have a consulting team. We have connections with third-party development labs. We have connections with Amazon and also Microsoft and are one of their top-tier strategic suppliers. So IBM also brings a unique differential in that we reduce the risk for clients. We put all of our LLM and AI code out on open source so that it can leverage and raise the entire industry as a whole. And we try to reduce the risk for our clients. We make our algorithms known, and we also believe in responsibility around AI. So I'm constantly thinking about how AI can automate the repetitive, how AI can automate what you do on a daily basis at your role, but free you up for the more creative task, for the more tasks that require extensive planning that an AI model can't do. So we like to think of AI as kind of like a sidekick that sits beside you and helps you do your job better.
Yes.
And that's where we are. We believe in a human in the loop. We're not at a point where AI could be 100% automated. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer and closer every single day. And many of these companies that don't think technology is a competitive advantage are the ones that need to invest in the technology of the future.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Julie. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you, Laith. You as well.
Thank you all so much for tuning in today, and we hope that you found the discussion on AI and supply chains insightful.